when savings equals ulcer. There's been a long-standing belief that savings is for everyone, and indeed for every level of income. And therefore, no matter the level of income that you earn, whether small, medium, or high, you can still do some meaningful savings. I used to be a firm believer of this principle, but upon deep reflection and given the level of experiences I've had and the struggles I've seen people go through trying to put something aside in the form of savings, even though their income is not supportive, I hold a different view. I believe that yes, savings is for everyone, but not for every level of income. If your income level is not enough to meet your unique survival expenses, then savings is not for you. You've not gotten to the threshold of income where you can talk about savings. What are the survival expenses that I'm talking about? The usual ones that we know: food, shelter, clothing. And of course, there are certain unique expenses that without which your daily life is going to be miserable. You need to sit down and calculate all those expenses and make sure that your income is enough to cover those ones so that you can get involved in meaningful, savings. Why save at the expense of your health? If you cannot afford decent 3 square meals a day, if you cannot afford to have decent, dressing or clothes, if you cannot afford to have a decent place of abode, then savings is not for you. Why save at the expense of your health? There are so many people who are putting aside money, even though they cannot afford to eat healthy meals. I'm not talking about expensive meals. I'm talking about decent 3 square meals. If you cannot afford that, then what use is the savings? Because you're going to have a counterproductive result. Why are you saving? You are saving in order to enjoy in future. But if you cannot afford good nutrition, you risk being hit by some non-communicable diseases like diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular diseases, and you can even develop ulcer and its related complications. So what use would that savings be if you are doing so at the expense of your health? Do not save at the expense of your health. Make sure you focus more. If you have that level of income which cannot cover those survival expenses, your focus should be on how to shore up your income, expand your streams of income, and make sure that you get to that level to be able to have a sustainable savings. Don't save at the expense of your health.